So with Morten here, I wanted to cover some more distance. And to do that, you can't really do it on Pegasus. So I've rented a car. I'm gonna go pick up Morten now, and we're gonna go cruise somewhere on Crete and try to find a cool landscape to photograph. Sorry, Pegasus, I'm cheating on you. Hey, man.
Say hi to the camera before you say hi to me.
What's going on? How's your morning?
Like, awesome.
You might want to move that seat back.
Yeah. Okay.
So Morten's here again, Morten Hilmer, and we're not going to photograph wildlife because we did some research quickly to see if there was wildlife in Crete, and we found this mystery cat that was called the Cretan lynx or something like that, and we've never seen a picture of it because it's so hard to find. So instead we're gonna go find like a landscape. Work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's got no choice.
Oh, I got you a coffee.
Thanks, buddy. Extra sugar. I think I found Morten some wildlife. There's some goats up on the road. We are off the beaten path here in Crete for sure. We're definitely off the paved road. We're going up and over this mountain pass, and I'm told, according to Google Maps, that there's a beach on the other side, and hopefully our little rental car can make it. But we're in the mountains. It's dry, it's sunny, it's hot, and the views are crazy as I just scare the goat away. So we are on the most incredible road in Greece that I've seen so far. We're twisting down the side of this cliff. That's the sea that way. I don't know if you can see it into the backlight. There's some huge peaks, and it is absolutely incredible, desolate, remote, and probably the worst place you ever want to be if you're running out of gas. On that note, we're running out of gas. I made the assumption that when we picked up the rental car there'd be fuel in it. There wasn't, so we're running out of gas. It's already blinking low fuel. We don't want to run out of fuel here because we'll be in the middle of nowhere. So being sensible, which Morten is, he's decided that we're gonna turn around. We're gonna find a fuel station, hopefully before we run out of gas, and then try to book it back here before sunset. It's already almost 5, sunset's at 8, so we are gonna have to be quick, but it does make more sense rather than, you know, dying out here. We don't even have water. No water, no fuel, that's just a bad idea. We made it. We got fuel. Are you happy about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I found some nice cold chocolate in the fridge.
Chocolate and fuel, we're sorted, and I think we still have tons of time. I think it's like maybe, maybe it cost us 40 minutes. So we'll be back in time for sunset, I think. So I think my buddy Thomas Heaton would be proud of this moment because I'm about to take out a long lens and take a picture of a tree. I'm not sure it's gonna work, but I've got my polarized sunglasses on, and driving down this road, I just see these trees that are stuck out here in the middle of the desert, essentially, this arid landscape, and they just look phenomenal. The contrast of the green to the red and grays. And I think if I get a polarizer on and I kind of angle so I'm not directly into the backlight, they'll really, really pop out. I don't know if it'll look good. It's gonna be a simple photo, probably the 100 to 400 straight into this. But yeah, it's just the contrast is so incredible. I have to shoot it. The reason that this image has potential to work is because the sunlight is coming in hot at the top, as you can probably see by my face being absolutely lit by it. And it's catching all these trees, but there's a massive rock face that's blocking the light on that side, so it's creating this huge shadow, and it's just accentuating the contrast. Now, my polarizer didn't work. The polarizer doesn't tend to work straight into the sun. It works best when it's at a 90-degree angle to the sun. So I ended up taking it off, but that wasn't the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that there's too many trees that I couldn't isolate one single tree, as I need to block the sun, obviously. I couldn't isolate one single tree, and it's just a little bit cluttered, but just based on the light, it's phenomenal. So I'll probably keep these images. And I guess we better get down to the beach because sunset's coming up quick. Compared to Denmark, how's the weather?
Sunny like in Denmark, but so much warmer. I think I'm still not, what do I say, when you get used to another temperature.
You're still not acclimatized.
Definitely, I'm so sticky all over. Just useful information.
Yeah, so we made it down to Kodumo, and it's not a Danish thing. I've been here for a month and I'm still not acclimatized to the heat. I'm sweating. It is hot. Yeah, Kodumo, I think, is the place that we are at. I had no idea what was here. I just did a Google search and it looked interesting. There are some people here. There's an old monastery here, and apparently there's a cave here. So we're gonna hopefully find something to take photos of. We've got the master of wildlife photography here. He's got a big old lens in the backpack, but I get the feeling we're gonna put on something a little bit wider today. I was a little bit worried when we got here because it's just a big open beach, but there was a sign saying there was a cave. That's what I found on Google Maps as well. And I think when you have a cave like this, you can create cool stuff a little bit later at night just because you can use shadows and frames. I don't think this is as good a frame as I expected it to be, but we're gonna keep looking. Okay, so it turns out the second cave is awesome, and the water is so clear here. It's unreal. It's one of those things that photography is trial and error. Even when you're a pro, you can kind of guess what's gonna happen, but you don't always know what's gonna happen. And so this is part of that trial and potentially error. But let's set up the gear and see if it works. Is there anything better than shooting landscape photography or photography in general with your feet in the waves? It's so nice. I'm going crazy in here with the filters. I've got a 3-stop hard grad and a 4-stop medium grad. That's 7 stops of light crushing into this. And I'm basically just trying to time some waves. I want maybe a 2-second exposure, so I'm gonna go ISO 200, 2 seconds f11. Let's get that sorted. And that was exactly what I wanted to happen. The water's really, really calm. It's way too calm. And if I go too long with the exposure, it'll just flatten it out and it won't have any drama. At 2 seconds, if I can catch one of these waves coming through here, I think one's about to go, right like that, it will show that whiteness, that smokiness in the water. And right now it almost looks a little bit too HDR because I've got too many filters on, but it's just kind of how it has to be. I've also got a polarizer on to cut out some of the glare on the water. And yeah, it looks like a simple image, but believe me, this wasn't a simple one to produce. So I'm not sure if this photo is gonna work. It looks okay on the back of the camera. It's one of those images I think that just needs some post-processing, maybe to be brought to life. I definitely can't fault the light. Purple and blues in the skies, just the way you would like them here. Let's go see what Morten's doing. So I love watching photographers from other fields take pictures of landscapes because they just have a different eye, and an eye that I don't have. And as soon as I look at the back of their cameras, I can tell what they're trying to do, but I would have never seen that. So it looks like Morten's got, I don't know, tell me what you've got going on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to always kind of like my pictures very simple, and I get confused by all the shapes and stuff, so I try to find one little thing and try to make the water help me. I like to photograph in snow, so I thought with a long exposure I can turn the water into snow and create my own little landscape of simplicity.
Yeah, it's funny because, like I said, I never would have thought of this image myself. I walked up, saw what Morten had his camera pointed on, and I went, yeah, I like it. That's nice. It's just like this little U shape, and then you've got a center rock in the inside, and then some water smashing through. And as you mentioned, when a nice bit of wave comes through, turns it to snow or smoke. This is fantastic, hey?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really, really nice.
I think both landscape and wildlife photography is very similar in that it just puts you into nature. It just puts you on a beach, or it puts you in a field or a forest or somewhere. It just puts you in nature, and it's just such a rewarding feeling. It's such a peaceful feeling. We're done. I honestly don't know if I got a photo. What I do know is I had fun. I had such a good time. It was beautiful, the water's nice, and it's good to have Morten's company. If you haven't checked out Morten's channel yet, be sure to go check it out, especially when he gets to Crete, because you'll probably get to see him try to do some landscape photography. And I think the reality is he's probably really good at it. The thing about good photographers is they can do any type of photography. Landscape photography was cool there. The thing I love about landscape photography is you can almost always find a location, no matter where you are. Sometimes all you need is a tiny little cave and some rocks. And Greece has lots of rocks. Tomorrow we'll be back with Morten. We're heading up to Hania, and it should be amazing. See you guys there. Peace.